World Future 2050. In 2025, the world faces slowing growth, rising tensions, and rapid tech and energy shifts, demanding urgent adaptation. Imagine standing in the year 2050. The world around you is a blend of high-tech marvels, sweeping environmental changes, and social evolution. Cities shimmer with smart infrastructure, where streets are lined with autonomous vehicles, and drones deliver goods in mere minutes. The air is cleaner, powered by renewable energy sources, and global efforts to combat climate change have begun to show tangible results. Yet the Earth still faces critical challenges: climate extremes, population pressures, and the rapid pace of technological disruption. This is the world you're about to enter, a future where humanity is at a crossroads. The choices made today will determine whether we can navigate the complexities of climate change, social inequality, and global cooperation, or whether we'll fall prey to our own disregard for the planet and one another. By 2050, humanity will have faced multiple pivotal moments, some of triumph, others of struggle, that will reshape every aspect of life as we know it. Technological advancements will serve as both the savior and the disruptor of society. Imagine cities where human effort is minimal, yet innovation is at its peak. A world where artificial intelligence has integrated into every aspect of daily life, from healthcare to education, and even the very way people think and interact with each other. The promise of a smarter, more connected world comes with both immense opportunity and profound challenges. From the rise of AI in the workplace to the autonomous cars on the roads, technology will be a defining feature of 2050. But it won't just be about convenience. Technology will be a driving force in the battle to save the planet, offering tools for environmental restoration and sustainable living. It will also challenge the very fabric of human relationships, work, and identity. The societal consequences of these advancements will push the boundaries of what it means to be human, requiring a recalibration of ethics and governance on a global scale. As we step into this future, we cannot ignore the reality of the Earth's environmental decline. The planet's climate is shifting in ways that will permanently alter landscapes, economies, and entire ecosystems. The world of 2050 will bear the scars of a warming Earth, with rising sea levels that have displaced millions, ecosystems in peril, and agricultural systems strained by extreme weather events. But it's not all doom and gloom. By 2050, humanity will have made significant strides in reversing environmental damage. Innovations in renewable energy, carbon capture technology, and sustainable farming practices will be commonplace. The fight against climate change will be a central theme of global cooperation, as countries, businesses, and individuals come together to safeguard the future. The political and economic landscape of 2050 will look vastly different from today. The shift in power dynamics will reflect the rapid rise of emerging economies, particularly in Asia and Africa, while traditional Western powers may find their influence waning. The US and China will vie for dominance on the world stage, while regions like Africa will see an unprecedented economic boom fueled by technological innovation, entrepreneurship, and a burgeoning young population. International cooperation will be paramount. Issues like climate change, cybersecurity, and global health will require collaborative solutions, while geopolitical tensions could strain alliances and provoke new conflicts. But in the face of these challenges, there will also be unprecedented opportunities for peacebuilding, diplomacy, and global governance. Health will no longer be about just curing diseases. It will be about enhancing and prolonging life. By 2050, medical breakthroughs will have completely changed the landscape of healthcare. Advances in genetic engineering, personalized medicine, and even the possibility of anti-aging treatments will extend lifespans and prevent diseases that once plagued humanity. Diseases like cancer, Alzheimer's, and heart disease will be either eradicated or manageable, with precision treatments tailored to an individual's genetic code. Technology will be integral to this transformation. Artificial intelligence will drive diagnostics, ensuring that illnesses are detected earlier and more accurately than ever before. Robots will assist in surgeries with pinpoint precision, reducing recovery times and improving outcomes. Health will become a lifelong, data-driven journey, with individuals connected to real-time health monitoring devices that provide ongoing insights into their bodies. The workplace of 2050 will bear little resemblance to what we know today. Automation and artificial intelligence will take over many traditional jobs, but this doesn't mean a loss of work. It signals a shift in what work means. Rather than repetitive tasks, humans will focus on creative, strategic, and empathic roles that AI and robots cannot replicate. Many people will work from home or in decentralized environments, leading to new ways of collaborating, creating, and innovating. At the same time, social connections will evolve. Digital identities will intertwine with physical identities, leading to new ways of forming relationships, from virtual friends to digital communities. Virtual and augmented reality will redefine entertainment, education, and communication, breaking down geographical barriers and opening up new opportunities for social interaction. The human experience, once bound by the limits of physical space, will become more fluid and interconnected. While the world of 2050 promises awe-inspiring advancements, it also demands careful stewardship. The Earth's future will depend on our collective ability to adapt, innovate, and collaborate in the face of immense challenges. Every sector, from the environment and technology to health and governance, will require visionary leadership and a unified global approach to shape a future that benefits all. The next 3 decades will be pivotal in determining whether humanity can achieve a future that balances innovation with sustainability, prosperity with equity, and technology with humanity. The world in 2050 will be a product of today's choices, choices that will define the legacy we leave for future generations. By 2050, the Earth will stand as a living testament to both human ingenuity and the scars left by our neglect. The environment, once taken for granted, will have transformed in profound ways. From devastating natural disasters to groundbreaking environmental recovery efforts, the story of climate change will be one of both tragedy and hope. In 2050, the consequences of climate change will be undeniable. The impact of rising global temperatures will manifest in multiple ways: melting glaciers, more frequent and extreme weather events, and an ever-growing crisis of biodiversity loss. Sea levels will have risen significantly, displacing entire coastal communities and forcing millions of people into climate refugee status. Nations along the Pacific and Atlantic coasts, already grappling with increasing floods, will face the ultimate challenge: whether to adapt or retreat inland. Deserts will expand, eating into agricultural regions that once fed entire populations. Wildfires, which have already ravaged forests in places like Australia, California, and the Amazon, will become more widespread and intense, threatening both ecosystems and human settlements. The Earth's climate systems, so finely tuned for centuries, will become increasingly erratic. It will no longer be business as usual for farmers, fishermen, or anyone reliant on the natural rhythms of the Earth. Communities that once lived in harmony with nature will find themselves on the front lines of survival. But perhaps the most heart-wrenching consequence of climate change will be the loss of biodiversity. Species once abundant will be driven to extinction, while others may find themselves struggling to adapt to shifting environments. Coral reefs, vital for marine life and the world's ecosystems, will be at risk of disappearing entirely, leaving a void in the oceans that could have far-reaching consequences for food security and coastal economies. These losses will serve as a stark reminder of the delicate balance between humanity and nature. Yet amid the chaos and destruction, 2050 will also be a story of triumph, a world where humanity's creativity and resourcefulness begin to heal the planet. The transition to a sustainable future will be the defining movement of this era, driven by both necessity and innovation. Global society will recognize that survival hinges on transforming the way we interact with our environment. The shift toward renewable energy will have reached a critical mass by 2050. Solar, wind, and geothermal energy will dominate the global power grid, rendering fossil fuels obsolete in most parts of the world. Advances in energy storage technology will allow renewables to power homes, cities, and industries around the clock, without relying on coal, oil, or natural gas. Solar farms, once limited to rural areas, will now grace the rooftops of skyscrapers. In bustling urban centers, wind turbines will be part of the landscape, gently turning in rural fields and on offshore platforms. The age of dirty energy will be relegated to history, and the focus will be on maintaining the health of the Earth rather than exploiting it. Carbon capture and storage, CCS technologies, once in their infancy, will have evolved into powerful tools for mitigating the effects of past carbon emissions. CCS systems will be integrated into industries, factories, and even directly into the atmosphere, reversing some of the damage caused by centuries of industrial activity.
The hope for environmental restoration will lie not only in prevention, but in these technological marvels that allow for the repair of what was once thought irreversible. Agriculture, too, will undergo a radical transformation. Vertical farming, once a concept relegated to science fiction, will now be a common sight in urban landscapes. By 2050, cities will grow their own food, reducing the need for long supply chains that contribute to carbon emissions. These farms will be powered by renewable energy, using minimal water and zero pesticides. Precision agriculture, fueled by AI and satellite data, will optimize crop yields while minimizing environmental impact. What was once unsustainable will now become the model for the future. The 2050s will see the rise of environmental restoration as a global priority. Earth will no longer be merely a planet to exploit, but a fragile partner to nurture. Large-scale reforestation projects will have transformed entire regions, with countries around the world participating in efforts to reverse deforestation and restore vital ecosystems. In places like the Amazon, the African Congo Basin, and Southeast Asia, lush green forests will slowly begin to reclaim their space, driven by a global commitment to climate restoration. In the oceans, similar efforts will be underway. Massive cleanup projects will be removing plastic from the seas, and coral reefs, once decimated by warming waters, will be brought back to life with the help of advanced technologies like reef restoration and gene editing. The oceans will be seen as the lungs of the planet, and by 2050, humanity will have learned to protect them with the same reverence once reserved for the land. One of the most ambitious projects of the 2050s will be geoengineering, the deliberate modification of Earth's environment to counteract climate change. While controversial, technologies like solar radiation management, reflecting sunlight to cool the Earth, and carbon sequestration will be explored as last resort measures to stabilize the planet's temperature. Although these technologies will remain experimental, they will represent humanity's last-ditch attempt to correct the damage done to the environment. The growing acceptance of sustainable living will also drive the development of zero-waste economies. By 2050, products will be designed with complete life cycles in mind, ensuring that every item is either recyclable or compostable. Waste, once a major environmental problem, will be reduced to almost zero, thanks to advances in circular economies and resource recovery systems. Environmental movements will continue to flourish in 2050, propelled by both grassroots organizations and top-down government mandates. Young people, emboldened by the visible evidence of climate change, will take center stage in pushing for more aggressive action. Climate strikes, community-led sustainability initiatives, and eco-conscious entrepreneurship will be part of daily life. The fight for environmental justice, ensuring that the most vulnerable communities are not left behind in the transition to a green economy, will be central to the social discourse. Corporations, too, will be forced to evolve. The global push for corporate accountability in environmental matters will lead to a new era of ethical business practices. Carbon-neutral companies will not be the exception, but the rule. Corporate transparency will become a priority, and businesses will compete not only on products and services, but on their ability to provide solutions that contribute to a healthier planet. Governments, under pressure from citizens, will adopt policies that prioritize sustainability. Climate accords and international agreements will be the norm, as countries understand that environmental issues are global issues that cannot be solved in isolation. The environmental policies of 2050 will be backed by real-world impact. Air pollution will have drastically decreased, cities will be built with green spaces at their core, and nature conservation will become a central pillar of national and international governance. By 2050, the Earth will be a place of stark contrasts, a planet scarred by the ravages of climate change, yet on the path toward healing. The damage done to the environment will be irreversible in many respects, but humanity will have embraced the challenge of restoring the Earth to a state of balance. The transition to a sustainable future, fueled by technology, innovation, and collective global action, will have begun to show real, tangible results. But the ultimate question remains: will humanity rise to meet the challenges of a changing climate, or will we allow the planet's fate to spiral beyond our control? As we look forward to 2050, we are reminded that the Earth's future is not inevitable. It is shaped by the choices we make today. By 2050, technology will be the cornerstone of humanity's evolution, both as a solution to the world's most pressing challenges and as a transformative force that redefines what it means to be human. The rise of artificial intelligence, robotics, quantum computing, and biotechnology will revolutionize every sector: healthcare, transportation, communication, and even the very fabric of society. Yet as technology advances, it will raise profound ethical questions and demands for careful regulation. In this future, human ingenuity will collide with the complexities of governance, privacy, and identity, as societies strive to balance innovation with ethical responsibility. Autonomous systems will permeate daily life, from smart cities to self-driving vehicles, creating a world that is more connected, efficient, and streamlined. But technology will not just be about convenience. It will be the key to solving some of humanity's biggest problems, such as environmental sustainability, health crises, and even the fundamental nature of human longevity. As the digital and biological worlds converge, humanity will face the challenge of ensuring that technological progress enhances rather than diminishes our shared humanity. The world in 2050 will not just be shaped by machines, but by the choices we make about how we integrate them into our lives. By 2050, the global economy will have undergone a seismic shift, with emerging powers, particularly in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, taking center stage. The United States and China will continue to vie for dominance, but the landscape of economic and political power will look markedly different. Traditional Western dominance will be tempered by the rise of new global players, creating a multipolar world order where economic influence is distributed more evenly across continents. This shift will be driven by the rapid industrialization of developing nations, the exponential growth of tech industries, and the increasing importance of sustainability in global trade. The global economy will be deeply interconnected, but with a heightened focus on local self-sufficiency and regional collaborations. Technology, particularly in fields like AI, blockchain, and automation, will redefine industries, economies, and job markets. Automation and digitalization will blur the lines between developed and developing economies, as countries once dependent on low-cost labor will transition to high-tech innovation hubs. At the same time, the geopolitical landscape will become more complex as nations and regions navigate the balance of power, resource allocation, and international cooperation. The world's future will be shaped by the strategic alliances formed between nations, corporations, and emerging global institutions, making the year 2050 a tipping point in the quest for economic equity and global stability. By 2050, advancements in medicine and biotechnology will have dramatically altered the human lifespan, with the pursuit of longer, healthier lives reaching unprecedented heights. Aging, once considered an inevitable process, will be approached as a treatable condition, with breakthroughs in gene editing, regenerative medicine, and personalized healthcare offering the promise of extended life expectancy. Diseases that once claimed millions, such as cancer, Alzheimer's, and heart disease, will be manageable or even eradicated thanks to innovations in early detection and targeted therapies. The human body will be augmented in ways previously confined to science fiction, with bionic limbs, enhanced vision, and even neural interfaces becoming commonplace. Stem cell therapies will regenerate damaged organs, and organ transplants will be replaced by lab-grown replacements, reducing the need for donors and transplant lists. The concept of immortality, once a distant dream, will no longer be purely speculative as the boundaries between human biology and artificial enhancement blur. However, this will not come without societal implications, questions about access to life-extending technologies, the ethics of immortality, and the psychological toll of living longer will spark global debates. The quest for eternal youth and health will fundamentally reshape the human experience, creating a world where the definition of what it means to live a full life is continually redefined. By 2050, education will have transformed into a dynamic, personalized experience, leveraging cutting-edge technology to unlock the full potential of every individual. Traditional classrooms, once dominated by textbooks and standardized tests, will be replaced by immersive, AI-driven learning environments that cater to the unique needs and learning styles of each student. Virtual and augmented reality will allow students to travel through history, explore distant planets, or dissect the human genome, all from their classrooms, making education far more interactive and engaging. With advancements in neurotechnology, students will be able to learn at their own pace, with real-time feedback from AI tutors and coaches who will identify strengths, weaknesses, and areas for improvement. The concept of a one-size-fits-all education system will be obsolete, as personalized curricula and learning pathways become the norm. Moreover, education will no longer be confined to childhood or adolescence. Lifelong learning will be essential as people adapt to rapidly changing job markets and technologies. The skills of the future will emphasize creativity, emotional intelligence, and complex problem-solving, alongside technical expertise in fields like AI, robotics, and biotechnology. Education will also embrace a more holistic approach, fostering global citizenship, empathy, and collaboration. The 2050s will mark a revolutionary shift in how we prepare future generations, not just to thrive in a rapidly changing world, but to lead with innovation, compassion, and purpose. By 2050, the boundaries of society and culture will have evolved in unprecedented ways as technology, global connectivity, and shifting values redefine human interaction. The world will be more interconnected than ever, with virtual communities, social media, and immersive digital experiences shaping the way people form relationships, create art, and engage with their identities. The traditional notions of nationhood and cultural boundaries will blur as globalization fosters a melting pot of ideas, beliefs, and values, allowing individuals to connect across vast distances like never before. Cultural exchange will be instant, with people experiencing and influencing the arts, music, and traditions of far-flung regions in real time through virtual platforms. Meanwhile, the rise of artificial intelligence and virtual realities will create entirely new forms of self-expression, where human creativity intertwines with technology to produce stunning visual art, immersive theater, and interactive storytelling that push the boundaries of imagination. At the same time, social movements and a renewed focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion will take center stage, demanding that the benefits of technological advancement be distributed fairly, and that cultural narratives reflect the richness of the human experience. The question of what it means to belong will evolve as people find new ways to connect, create meaning, and form communities, both in physical spaces and in virtual worlds. By 2050, society will have embraced a new age of connectivity, where digital and physical spaces coexist in harmony, and where the future of culture is shaped not by geography or tradition, but by shared experiences, values, and aspirations. By 2050, the structure of governance and political systems will have undergone a profound transformation, driven by the need for cooperation in an increasingly complex, interconnected world. Traditional nation-states will still exist, but global challenges, such as climate change, pandemics, and cybersecurity, will demand new forms of collaboration and governance across borders. The rise of multinational organizations and coalitions will redefine power structures, with decision-making becoming more decentralized and collaborative. National governments will increasingly operate within the framework of global agreements, cooperating with international institutions to address shared problems. The concept of sovereignty will be challenged as countries realize that their individual fates are inexorably tied to the global community. As technology enables more direct forms of citizen participation, democratic processes will become more participatory, with real-time feedback and direct decision-making platforms, allowing people to have a more immediate say in the policies that affect them. Simultaneously, AI will play an integral role in governance, assisting in policy development, resource management, and crisis response, helping governments make more data-driven and efficient decisions. In this future, global cooperation will become essential, not just for solving problems, but for ensuring the sustainability and prosperity of all nations. The political paradigm of 2050 will be one of interconnectedness and shared responsibility, where global governance structures evolve to foster collaboration, peace, and sustainability in a world that is increasingly interdependent. By 2050, the world will have undergone a green revolution, where sustainability and environmental consciousness are no longer fringe ideals but core tenets of global society. The ravages of climate change will have prompted an unprecedented global effort to restore balance to the Earth's ecosystems, with renewable energy, circular economies, and sustainable practices becoming the norm. Solar, wind, and other renewable energy sources will dominate the global energy mix, drastically reducing reliance on fossil fuels and curbing carbon emissions. Urban landscapes will be transformed into green, sustainable cities, designed with nature in mind, featuring vertical gardens, green roofs, and energy-efficient buildings that minimize their environmental footprint. Agriculture will have evolved with sustainable high-tech farming methods, including vertical farming, aquaponics, and lab-grown food, reducing the strain on natural resources while feeding a growing global population. Innovations in waste management and resource recycling will make a circular economy a reality, where materials are reused, repurposed, and regenerated rather than discarded. Governments, corporations, and individuals will all play critical roles in driving the shift toward environmental sustainability, with the adoption of policies and technologies that prioritize the planet's well-being alongside economic and social progress. The next few decades will see the Earth's ecosystems begin to heal, with endangered species making a comeback and deforestation reversing as humanity embraces a more symbiotic relationship with nature. By 2050, sustainability will not just be a global priority. It will be the foundation of a thriving, resilient world that ensures a healthy planet for future generations. By 2050, humanity's presence in space will have expanded beyond the realms of science fiction, as space exploration reaches unprecedented heights. The moon will no longer just be a distant celestial body. It will serve as a launch pad for further missions to Mars and beyond. With the establishment of permanent lunar bases, humans will begin to harness the moon's resources, mining for water ice and rare minerals to sustain longer-term space missions and build a self-sustaining presence off Earth. Mars will become The next frontier, with the first colonies on the Red Planet flourishing as international partnerships and private enterprises join forces to build habitats and explore the mysteries of this once barren world. Space tourism will be commonplace, with wealthy individuals embarking on suborbital flights or even staying in space hotels, while more advanced space stations will become hubs for research, manufacturing, and collaboration between Earth and space-based industries. The development of faster spacecraft and more efficient propulsion systems will reduce travel times, making the vast distances of our solar system more navigable. Artificial intelligence and robotics will play a pivotal role in space missions, conducting research, maintaining space infrastructure, and even assisting with the human colonization of other planets. As humanity ventures further into the cosmos, the question of extraterrestrial life will loom larger, with missions focused on discovering signs of life on Mars, Europa, or even exoplanets in distant star systems. The 2050s will mark the beginning of humanity's journey beyond the confines of Earth, setting the stage for an era of interplanetary exploration and settlement that will redefine our understanding of what it means to be human in the vast universe. By 2050, artificial intelligence will have advanced to the point where it is deeply integrated into every facet of life, shaping industries, revolutionizing healthcare, driving autonomous systems, and even influencing social dynamics. However, this unprecedented leap forward will raise profound ethical dilemmas as humanity grapples with the growing power of AI. As machines become more autonomous and capable of making complex decisions, questions surrounding accountability, bias, privacy, and the very nature of human agency will come to the forefront. The rise of AI-powered systems that outperform humans in many areas will challenge traditional concepts of labor, creativity, and intellectual property, leading to debates about the role of humans in a world dominated by machines. Will AI be used to enhance human potential, or will it create new forms of inequality and power imbalances? The ethical considerations of AI will require a global dialogue, with governments, tech companies, and philosophers working together to establish guidelines and regulations that ensure the responsible development and use of AI technologies. The advent of AI will also prompt a rethinking of the relationship between humans and machines. Will we come to see AI as mere tools, or will we view them as entities with rights and moral considerations of their own? As we continue to push the boundaries of AI's capabilities, the question of how to maintain control over intelligent systems while ensuring they serve the common good will remain one of the most critical challenges of the 21st century. By 2050, AI will not just be a tool of innovation, it will be a central force in shaping the ethical framework of an increasingly automated world. By 2050, the world of work will have undergone a radical transformation, driven by the pervasive rise of automation, AI, and robotics. Many traditional jobs, especially in manufacturing, transportation, and customer service, will have been replaced by autonomous systems, leaving a vast swathe of the workforce to navigate an entirely new employment landscape. While this will lead to greater efficiency and productivity, it will also create significant challenges, including mass displacement and the need for workers to adapt to a rapidly evolving job market. However, automation will not necessarily spell the end of human labor. Instead, it will shift the focus of work to areas where human creativity, empathy, and complex problem-solving are irreplaceable, such as in the arts, research, healthcare, and roles that require deep emotional intelligence. The future of work will also be characterized by an emphasis on flexibility and lifelong learning, as individuals will need to continually reskill to remain relevant in an economy driven by technological advancements. As automation takes over repetitive tasks, people will increasingly find fulfillment in roles that allow for personal growth, innovation, and collaboration. The very definition of work will evolve, with a growing emphasis on purpose-driven careers and projects that contribute to the collective good, from environmental conservation to scientific discovery. Additionally, universal basic income, UBI, or similar initiatives may be implemented in some regions, offering a safety net for those displaced by automation and allowing individuals to pursue passions or entrepreneurial ventures without the fear of economic instability. By 2050, the future of work will not just be about making a living. It will be about redefining human purpose and fulfillment in a world where the nature of labor has fundamentally changed.